Good evening. My name is Alisha Emrich, and I'm excited to be in the book group with all of you who are reading John Green's An Abundance of Catherines. So, getting into the book and the opening, I like the opening. The opening sentence, it was captivating, I thought. It's about a boy who's going through a breakup, and the day after he graduates and gets dumped for the 19th time. And I honestly couldn't imagine dealing with that, especially at that age. I mean, I guess the older you get, you never really get used to it, but you learn how to deal with it. But being dumped 19 times within an 18-year span has to be tough. But getting back to the opening, I thought it was very captivating. It was just kind of strange. He got dumped and he's taking a bath. So there is I've just read the first chapter. There wasn't a whole lot, I guess, that I can gather from Colin's character, but I did feel sympathetic towards what he was dealing with, especially the scene with his parents when they're trying to comfort him, and he's just like wanting them to go away, and he just wants to be alone, and he actually goes and throws up. I can relate to that because, you know, dealing with a breakup is hard enough, but then your parents are trying to comfort you. That just makes it even more awkward at that age. I guess if you're older, maybe you can accept their comfort because you've learned more through experience. But as a teenager, you really don't want your parents to comfort you when you're going through a breakup. But tropes that Green used that I thought were used effectively. The story is written in the third person, which I think is just as effective as if it was written in first person, really, because even though it's not, you know, Colin saying, I felt this, or, you know, I went through this, the way that Green describes certain things, I think makes it still, like, visceral, like you can still get the gist of what he's feeling, and you can feel sympathetic towards his character. For instance, there's the part where he's reading the inscription in his yearbook that his 19th Catherine had written to him. And she says, I love you, yours forever, Catherine. And forever seems like it's possible at that age when you're in high school, but, you know, most of the time relationships don't last that long. And I can relate to how he feels about, you know, just feeling kind of empty, like you want to cry, but, you know, you really can't because there's really, well, I guess you've gotten to the point where you just feel so sad about it that you're just kind of numb. I think John Green evokes those kind of emotions really well in the opening chapter. I think that he really captures what it's like to be an adolescent and dealing with breakups that, you know, maybe you didn't see coming, and then you have to deal with the aftermath of it because you thought that you were going to be with this person for a longer period of time. So that's a good theme to focus on, I think. First love, or 19th love, really. And, you know, how it affects you when that person is no longer in your life. I mean, people deal with things differently, and it seems like for Colin, he kind of just wants to close himself off from everything and everybody and just kind of, you know, go inward. And that's something I can relate to, too, as far as how you deal with heartbreak and emotional turmoil. Another theme, or I guess young adult trope that Green has is, I know that Colin is going to take a trip and he's going to experience something that's going to get him out of the funk that he's in. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out and, you know, just what he discovers about himself. And I hope that he ends up discovering really that your sense of self-worth isn't tied to whether or not somebody else thinks that you have worth in the first place. But those were my thoughts on the first chapter. I haven't really read a lot of Green's work. I did read part of The Fault in Our Stars, and while I found some of it enjoyable, I didn't really like it that much, so I didn't finish it. But I'm actually enjoying this, so I look forward to seeing how the story continues, and I look forward to discussing with you all as the weeks progress. Thanks for listening. Bye.